Counter programming. Okay. First example. Design a counter for counting the pulses of an input signal. The pulse to be counted are fed to pin P3.4 and crystal oscillator of the internal frequency that 22 megahertz. Okay. So design a counter that should be count the external clock pulse. The external clock pulse or the external event reaching the microcontroller at P3.4, pin number P3.4. So microcontroller in oscillator frequency 20 megahertz. Okay. So write down the assembly language too. So if you look at the pin diagram of 8051 microcontroller, there are two pins. There are two pins available for counting the external event. Right. T0, T1. If the timer to be act as counter, that is counting the external event, T0 pin, through T0 pin, the external clock pulse reaching the controller. That will be go to timer 0. Through T1 pin, the external event reaching the controller at this particular pin. So this input will goes to counter 1. Okay. So pin number, what is the pin number for this? P34 and P34, P35. T0 input is P34. T1 input is P35. Okay. So only these two pins are used for counters. If you are using counter 0, then T0. If you are using counter 1, then T1. That is P35. Okay. Please remember this. These two pins are important for writing the counter program. P34, P35. T0, T1. Okay. So what is the example given here? P34. So P34 meaning check the pin number P34 T0. That is counter 0. So it is given, write the program for counter 0. Counter 0, count the external events. Okay. So whenever the clock pulses reaches this P3.4 pin, the counter will count that clock pulse. So in the first example, counter 0. In general, we are using timer 0, timer 1. So timer 0 going to act as the counter. Timer 0 going to act as the counter. Okay. So first example, what I'm going to do, timer 1. For a particular amount of time, how much clock pulses reach the microcontroller? Say for example, I'm going to set timer 1 for 1 second. So for 1 second time duration, how many clock pulses reached at P3.4 pins? For this logic, we are going to write the program. Okay. For every 1 second, how many clock pulse reached at P3.4? Okay. So timer 0 going to act as counter. Timer 1 going to act as timer only, particularly mode 0. So now how to configure the T mode register? Let us check. Timer 0 counting mode. Counter 0. So counter meaning this pin should be 1 for counting counter operation, not external hardware control. M1, M0. Mode 1, I'm going to use mode 1. So 0, 1. Okay. This is counter 0, mode 1. Next, for this timer, I'm going to use as a timer. So timer meaning this pin particularly 0. Mode 0, so 0, 1. So hexadecimal 15H. So we have to load 15 in the T mode register. Okay. So this will indicate timer 1, mode 1. This one counter 0, mode 1. Okay. Now we will start the program. So remember that whenever the timer acts as the counter, it receives the clock pulse externally through that P3.4 pin and P3.5 pin for timer 0, timer 1 respectively. Starting at this location, configure the T mode register. So particularly in this example, so we are using timer 0 as well as timer 1. Timer 1 for as a timer itself. Timer 0 as a counter. Move timer mode control register, comma, #15. Okay, which indicate timer 1 as timer mode 1. Timer 0 as counter. Yeah. So P3.4 pin. Configure that particular pin. Set bit P3.4. It acts as the input. It receives the external clock pulses. Set B P3.4. Next, move TL0. Initially, The timer 0 low registers are 0. TL0 comma hash 00. Okay. Initial value. Now start your timer. Start your counter. Set bit TR0. Okay. Set bit TR0. So your timer 0, that is act as the counter now. It start counting the clock pulses. The clock pulses arriving from external device. Okay. So how much time it need to count? In this program, we are writing the assembly language for 1 microsecond. For 1 microsecond, sorry, for 1 second, how many clock pulses it counts? For that concept only, we are going to write the code. Okay. So now you see your timer 1 for setting this time. Move TL1, comma 00H. Move TH1, comma 00H. Set your timer TR1. So timer 1 started running. Jump, wait until the timer 1 is overflow. TF1 back. Okay. Next, once it is overflow occurs, then stop your timer 1 and clear your overflow flag. Okay. So this particular section to give the time. So maximum mode to 65536 clock pulses it will count. 65535 clock 36 clock pulses. 22 megahertz meaning point how much? The previous classes we discussed. For 22, yeah, for 22 meaning maximum 35.75 millisecond you will get. For 22 megahertz F oscillator frequency, maximum time delay mode 1 can generate 35.75 millisecond. Okay. So in this example, we are writing for 1 second how many clock pulses received. So approximately 3575 millisecond multiplied with 28 times, you will get 1001 millisecond or approximately 1 second. In mode 1, timer can count up to 65536 clock pulse. So one clock pulse time period, particularly for 22 megahertz. So that we calculated already, I think 0.546 microsecond. Okay. So maximum time delay 35.75 using mode 1. So, but we are writing the program For every 1 second, how many clock pulses reached at P34 pin? So this program completely written for 35.75 milliseconds. This entire thing. So it should be repeated for 28 times. So put one register. I'm using R0 register. Move R0, comma hash 28. If you put like this, 28 considers decimal number only. Okay. Now decrement that particular register R0 until R0 0. Repeat the same procedure. So where should we put again? Here. Okay. So once the 1 second completed, then whatever value available in your timer 0, that should be sent to some other port. Say for example, move A comma TL0. At the end of this 1 second, TL0 count loaded into accumulator. And then this is sent to port 2. Say example, I'm taking port 2. Similarly, whatever values available in TH0, so that will be loaded into some other port. Move P1 comma A. Okay. So this is the program for a 1 second, how many pulse reach the microcontroller. So timer 0 will give the count. If you want to repeat the same procedure again and again, then put S jump repeat, where the repeat in the T mode. And then end. And then end. So this is the complete program. So here I explained about how to use timer 0, timer 1 parallelly in the same program. Particularly timer 0 as counter, timer 1 as timer. For every 1 second, how many clock pulses received by this timer 0? Okay. So I'll repeat once again. Please be clear about the objective or the questions. In the question, nothing is mentioned. They are not mentioned use timer 0, timer 1 and all. At pin number P34, the external clock pulse reach arriving. Okay. Microcontroller oscillator frequency 22 megahertz. So this is the given problem. So just for the demonstration purpose, I consider timer 0 going to count the external clock pulse. Okay. For every 1 second, I want to display how many clock pulse received by the P3.4 pin. For that timer 1, I am going to configure as the timer mode only. Okay. So from this calculation, 1.5 to be loaded. For this timer 1 mode 1, counter 0 mode 1. 1.5 loaded. So set P3.4. Activate P3.4 as a input. Okay. Initially, timer 0 going to act as the counter 0 0. Okay. So whenever it receives the clock pulses, it is first TL incremented by 1 by 1. When TL reaches FF, then TL start increment. Okay. Next, start your timer 0. That is counter is starting. So whenever it receives the clock pulses, it start increment by 1. So this entire program move R0, comma 28 up to this particular step. Up to this particular step. This is for timer related program. For 1 second time. So already we discussed many programs how to write the code for generating a particular time delay. Mode 1. So maximum is 35.75 millisecond you can generate for 22 megahertz oscillator frequency. Okay, 65536 multiplied with the time period of this 22 megahertz. That is, I think, 0.548. Okay, 0.546. 65536 into 0.546 microsecond. Then you will get 35.75. So if we repeat the same procedure 28 times, then almost we will get 10001 millisecond. That is almost equal to 1 second. After completion of this 1 second, what is the value available in your timer 0? That is TL0 displayed to into P2, TH0 sent to P1 through accumulator. That's it. So you can change your timing no issue. Here 1 second I took. So if we keep some more amount of time, then also better. So any doubt in this particular problem? So I'm not using the minus 200 concept and all. Normal binary counter, initially we are setting as 0. Same thing we have done here. So this is corresponding to your start your counter. This one for 1 second time delay. So any doubt in this particular program? You may ask, sir, is it necessary to incorporate timer 1 here? Not required. As a first example, I wanted to demonstrate how to use timer 0, timer 1. Both are different configuration. Timer 1 as a timer, timer 0 as a counter. So how to write the code? Just for that purpose only I have written this code. For writing counter program alone, not required at all. The timer function not at all required. For every 1 second time, how many clock pulses reached at the P34 pin? For that only this program is written. Okay. Second example I'll tell you. Counter 0. Counter 0 program. Just example. So what is the pin number? T0 P34. Okay, you have to use either capital T0 name or P3.4. I'm not using any timers and all. Whenever the clock pulses arrives at P3.4 pin number 3.4 receives clock pulses. Whenever the external event occurs, a clock pulse will be generated that arrives at P3.4th pin. Now write in simple assembly language program for this concept. Counter 0, suppose mode 2. I want to use counter 0 mode 2. What should be loaded? Counter 0 mode 2. We are not utilizing the timer 1 and half. So we are not using this timer 1, not external hardware control. Counter meaning it should be 1. This particular pin should be counter should be 1. Mode 2, 0 0 0 1 1 0. Okay. Mode 2 meaning 8-bit. 8-bit auto reload. Do you remember? 8-bit auto reload. The count value should be loaded into TH1. Okay. So to configure counter 0 only mode 2. So 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 6H. Okay. So move T mod. Move T mod comma 06H. This indicates counter 0 mode 2. Okay. So auto reload mode majorly TH only. We have to load on TH only. So TH0 comma initial value 0 0. Okay. Start your counter. Set before that configure your P34 pin number P3.4 as input. Now start your counter. Timer run control bit. Okay. It start. That's it. So you can know the status of this TL value. What is the status? How many clock pulse it counts? Move A comma TL0. Okay. So the TL0 will give how many pulses it counts. So move the TL0 to A and you can display that value in anywhere else, any port. Suppose I'm going to display how many pulses it counted on the pin number 1. Okay. So maximum count is FF only. That also you can write. Jump on bit TF0. Okay. Once TF0, then clear your timer 0 run control bit and clear your overflow flag. Then repeat the same procedure. Repeat the same procedure. Yes, jump. Some name you give. Start. From where set B run control bit. Start. Your timer. Start. So this is the actual program for counters. First program, I explained how to use timer counter in the same assembly language program. Second one, counter 0 mode 2. Mode 2 meaning auto reload mode. Or in auto reload mode, the value to be loaded in TH register. Okay. But TL register will give the status, how many pulses it counted. So continuation is very important. Already we studied this modes of counter. So here this is mode 2. TL will give status, how many clock pulse it counted. But initial value to be loaded in TH only. So this is act as a counter. So I'm loading 0 on this. The 0 automatically loaded into TL. That is the starting point. So it count up to FF. Once it is reached FF, then again it reset to 0 0 automatically. The 0 value load already loaded TH, that will be automatically reloaded into TL. That is mode 2 operation. Okay. So second program exclusively for counting. I'm not incorporating any timers. Start your counter. So your status available in TL0 in mode 2. In mode 2 configuration, your counting status available in TL only. So you can read the status of TL. So in this example, through accumulator, I am displaying TL status in port 1. Okay. Check for overflow flag. If overflow occurs, then start your timer again. Counter again. So any doubt in these two programs particularly? So that's all about timers and counter programs. So in the afternoon lab session, um, in our lab experiment, in the syllabus also the timer counter programs are available. Last class we just started some basic arithmetic operation. Okay, so addition only I had given. Similarly, subtraction, multiplication, division, all the operations you can perform. And if you look at the experiment number 5, timer programming using Keil software. Okay, so last class I have given the demo, but once again we are going to generate some other desired waveform using the timer program using Keil software. So if you have any doubt, let me know, particularly these two counter programming topic.